Well, thank you for joining us today at noon. I am joined with meteorologist Nathan Scott, and let me just say for 5 seconds, Nathan, you better not correct me because it was cold. I'm using the right T word today. It was cold this morning, and it's a little chilly now because the sun is out, but I don't care what you have to say because you're from the north and it's not really cold. It is cold for us.
Let me look at the numbers this
Okay,
morning.
look at the numbers. It's a little cold.
I mean, they were close to freezing. No, it was cold, Jurnee. I will certainly give you that because we started this morning very close to freezing. Mount Ida got down to freezing in Arkadelphia, 38 in Little Rock, 34 in Searcy. So you need that big winter coat this morning, but you're tossing that to the side right now because the temperatures have warmed up into the 50s, even 60 here in Little Rock, 64 in Arkadelphia, 64 in Pine Bluff. But those winds, they mean business. We've got that wind kicking in from the west-northwest about 10 to 20 miles per hour. So that still adds a little bite to the air. And here's what you can expect through the rest of your Thursday. Temperatures today primarily warming up, I think, into the low 60s. But then this evening, get those coats out once again. We'll quickly drop down into the 40s shortly after sunset. Highs today, low 50s in North Arkansas, low 60s here in Central Arkansas, and tonight we've got another cold one on tap. How long would this chilly weather stick around? I'll have that answer and more coming up.
Well, just into the THV 11 newsroom, former Florida Representative Matt Gaetz has withdrawn himself as President-elect Donald Trump's pick for U.S. Attorney General. The choice faced opposition on both sides of the aisle as Gaetz remains under investigation for sex trafficking. He said in a statement just minutes ago that his confirmation was becoming a distraction and that he is still committed to the Trump administration. And happening today here at home, education, maternal health, and public safety, all top priorities for Governor Sarah Sanders as she unveils her plan for the state's 2025 budget. Just hours ago, Governor Sanders proposed allocating $90 million to the LEARNS Act. In addition, extra funding will also be set aside for Medicaid, the Corrections Department, and the new employee pay plan. Our team attended that presentation this morning and will share more details at 5 and 6. Happening as we speak, multiple Thanksgiving food giveaways are taking place across parts of Central Arkansas, including in Little Rock. The Martin Luther King Jr. Commission is giving away Thanksgiving items right now. That is at 906 Broadway. Goods will be given on a first-come, first-served basis. The event is free with no requirements. The giveaway is happening until supplies are gone. And a similar event is happening in Pine Bluff. The First Ward Living Grace Pantry is holding their 8th annual giveaway that gets underway in under an hour and will last until 3:30. If interested, you'll need to stop by the Pine Bluff Convention Center. A bill in Australia is making way for the possibility of keeping kids off social media. Lee Chiari reports on what could be the toughest regulations in the world.
In Australia, just posting on social media could soon be against the law if you're too young.
I want Australian parents and families to know that the government has your back.
Australia's Prime Minister says he's worried about the safety of kids as his government considers a bill to ban social media for anyone under 16. It's the highest age limit set by any country in the world.
Social media is doing harm to our kids, and I'm calling time on it.
The ban would cover platforms like X, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram, but allow exceptions for low-risk use with apps for mental health and education. If they fail to keep children off their platforms, social media companies could receive fines of over $30 million. Some see it as government overreach. Ex-owner Elon Musk posted it seems like a backdoor way to control access to the internet by all Australians. Others welcomed it.
Looking at it from a teacher's perspective, I think it's really important that it's banned due to cyberbullying because there's a lot of youth suicide happening at the moment.
Suicide is the leading cause of death for teens in Australia, and experts have linked time online to a mental health crisis. But how they'll enforce the new law is not yet clear. Australia plans to trial a system that uses facial recognition technology, but admits it's not foolproof.
The kids are smart, right? Like, we're smart, we'll find our way to get around it.
The bill heads to the Senate next week, but it could take a year before Australia's kids are logged off. Lee Chiari, CBS News, London.
Well, in one of our top stories, $204 million will soon be used to fund multiple water projects across the state. A large portion of that money will be sent to water companies like Conway Corps and Elkins. Both are expecting to receive $32 million. West Helena will soon get $13 million in loans for improving their water system, with nearly $10 million being eligible for loan forgiveness. And as that plays out, thousands of Central Arkansas customers may be tasked with replacing water pipes. Central Arkansas Water recently sent out letters informing people on their push to remove all lead service lines. While it may seem alarming, CAW says their system is already better than most states.
We don't suspect that there's any lead services in our system, so we're miles ahead of other water utilities nationwide.
This process will help CAW find which properties need to be brought up to code. Just visit thv11.com for a link to their website to learn how to identify what material your pipe is made of. The U.S. Justice Department is asking a federal judge to force the sale of Google Chrome. Kelly O'Grady explains more on their reason why.
I dug into the 23-page filing, and the DOJ is asking for a slew of sweeping punishments to stop Google from squashing its competition. So above all, the DOJ says that Google needs to sell off Chrome, saying the playing field is not level. Google will then have to wait 5 years to re-enter the browser market. And remember, the tech giant owns Android, which has Chrome preloaded on the phone. So the DOJ proposed two options. One, sell its smartphone operating system, or two, Google would not be allowed to make its search engine mandatory on the phone and on any devices Google has exclusive contracts with. The DOJ would dissolve those agreements to be the default search engine. So that would mean goodbye to google.com preloaded on your iPhone. In a statement, Google called the DOJ's filing staggering, saying it would hurt consumers. And beyond the impact to its current business, these remedies would meaningfully impact Google's ability to compete in the artificial intelligence race. But this is just the first proposal, so think of it as the DOJ's wish list. Kelly O'Grady, CBS News, New York.
Well, back at home, the Arkansas Problem Gambling Council is asking for additional funding to maintain high demand. Last year alone, the nonprofit received around 7,000 calls. That's more than they did the year before in 2022. Last year, Arkansas received $204 million in sports wagers. Since then, they've been getting more calls, and they say they need more money to cater to each person.
Any given day, I can get a call from someone that says, I just drained my bank account from the push of a button. We've got some work to do to get prepared for, I hate to say it, a public health crisis.
The state is currently spending $200,000 a year on the program, which hasn't changed even after mobile betting became legal.